Hello, guys, and welcome here to SCN Sports Talk, the show where you wake up in the morning and you're like, "Dadgummit, these guys are still on."
Yep.
And
Yeah.
this week we got Zach Carmean with us. Zach, thanks for
Hi.
joining us this week.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. So we'll get to Rivers in a second. Obviously, got my jersey. We all decided to go jerseys this weekend. I'm just the outcast
Well,
in
I
this
wasn't
Aaron
originally
Rodgers parade.
going to, but you know what? I saw you guys wearing jerseys to join.
Yeah, he didn't want to be the outcast. He just wanted to make me the outcast.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, you're the oddball out.
It's all right. Sometimes you can't go with the flow. But anyway, before we get going, of course, we have a full slate of things we want to talk about. But let's start out with Hank Aaron. The news broke on Friday, which is actually when we're recording. He passed away at 86. He's the home run all-time leader. It's not Barry Bonds. When you take steroids for half your career, you're not the home run leader. But guys, I know we're very young, probably don't remember Barry Bonds playing, but what did you think of what he's done?
I mean, what
I think
over
it's
700 home runs and broke Babe Ruth's record, home run record. I want to say in 1968 is what I saw from great. Well, when I did my internship with ESPN Radio in Rochester, he was the one that posted about having an interview with him, and I guess he had a lot of interesting things. I guess he basically was one of those ones that went from poverty to stardom in MLB. So I give him a lot of praise. Hey, you did a lot of things in your career to get over 700 home runs. I'm sure a lot of people today would like to have that in their careers.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you on that. I think he should have gotten a lot more praise, especially nowadays. I don't think he gets enough, but that's baseball for you nowadays.
yeah.
But
Not to mention they're going to count the Negro League stats very soon.
it's ridiculous when you got a league that counts championships, even though they're cheated championships. Like the Astros
Yeah.
should still not have. They should not have their championship. It's ridiculous that they still have it
Yeah,
at this point.
but you want to know what? He's from a class where, again, we don't know if he did steroids at that point, but this is a class, now the baseball field, no one, and I mean no one, is ever going to hit 700 home runs again,
Right.
unless they're juicing up. It's very likely that'll never happen unless you juice up. I mean, Barry Bonds is a prime example of that, and Alex Rodriguez, who was chasing him down too.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think that's why it makes it so much more important to appreciate what he did on the field, being the all-time great slugger.
I think he was a second baseman or something like that, if I remember correctly. Something like.
Yeah, something like that, I'm sure. He was also a Hall of Famer. I think I saw his plaque at the Hall of Fame when I went to Cooperstown a few years ago. So, very nice.
I probably have too. It's been so long since I've been to the actual Baseball Hall of Fame. So
Yeah.
I've actually never been there because I've never been to the Northeast, but or anything west of Cincinnati, east of Cincinnati, I've never been to. So
Hey man, come this way sometime. We'll
will.
We'll go to the baseball museum.
Yeah, you should come to Indy and come to the NCAA museum. I've been there
I'm
multiple
totally
times.
down to do that.
The place
Shoot.
is awesome.
We got
that
some
would be
road
cool.
trips. Road trips planned for post-COVID now.
Yep.
And man, yeah, so Coach Philip Rivers, anyway, on to the next thing now. I would love to talk Hank Aaron all day, but we got a full slate of things to talk about here today. Dadgummit, Philip Rivers retired. And now he's going to coach high school football. And Drew Brees, according to reports from multiple outlets, he is likely to follow. Why not Brady? Where's Brady? Why can't he retire?
Because he has to break the record for the most played seasons in football history, probably. I have
Yeah.
no clue.
No, for me, it's probably because he wants to be the only quarterback to host a Super Bowl and also be one of the many quarterbacks to get that 7 championship, even though I think he doesn't deserve it whatsoever. I hate when people say he's the GOAT. He's clearly not. We can go on all day. I think it's this man all day, you know. But you're 43 years old. What more do you have to prove? What more do you have to prove? You've won 6
Well, other than-
championships. You've done it with one team, but you don't have more to prove. Come on.
Well, let's see. All-time passing yards is a record he could beat. All-time passing touchdowns, another record he could beat. And not to
Actually,
mention,
I think he has that right now.
And not to mention, rub it into all the haters that said he couldn't win without Belichick. And on top of it, next year he's going to have a chance to beat New England. So there's 4 things he can accomplish that he hasn't accomplished. You know, other than that, yeah, I agree with you. What more does he have to prove? He's proven everything. I absolutely do not respect him from the aspect of he has no sportsmanship whatsoever. But I can respect, though, that he's just a great competitor.
I mean, he's basically proven that he can go to the NFC and still win. But the thing is that for many years before, recently, the NFC used to be basically the equivalent to the East in the NBA, but it was really crappy. I'll just say that. Like AFC has always had that, one up on the NFC every time.
So,
Now, in recent years, you could probably say that the NFC is almost, if not better than the AFC is. Now, as far as Brady, I mean, we've known many things around Brady and what he's done in New England. As far as the Tuck rule to Deflategate to many things surrounding him. Unfortunately, with him, he probably just wants to prove, hey, if I'm still feeling good and I can still play at 43 years old, I might as well just keep on going, I guess.
I don't agree with the Deflategate stuff. I don't think that really affected the ball. I'm one of those that believes that the Indianapolis Colts administration at the time, or franchise at the time, was just trying to find ways to make excuses for them not being as good as the Patriots. And Colts fans hate the Patriots. They've always have. It's we all know the truth.
And we know that Josh McDaniels backing out of the deal probably didn't help that situation. Right. But anyway, so you guys got to see, guys in Indiana, you got to see Phillip Rivers for a year. Drew Brees, Drew Brees, you saw him in a Super Bowl.
We saw Drew Brees and also as at Purdue, but
at Purdue as well. I forgot about that. So I don't think there's any doubt Drew Brees is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I have the unpopular opinion that he's the best quarterback of all time right now until Rodgers beats all his records.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. But yeah, so then I guess what I have to ask now is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer? This has been the big topic all week.
I mean, I know we were talking about it, Brian. We were talking about how we don't think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He'll definitely be in. I'm not saying he won't. But
that's what I think.
The thing with a lot of this is, don't you think a lot of people rather see the players win rings, but unfortunately with Rivers, I think he's done enough even without not winning a championship to get in there.
Not to mention not appearing in one.
So I think Phillip Rivers, just based off of him not going into broadcasting, I think that hurts him. Honestly, I think that hurts him because it takes the spotlight off of him. So I think ultimately the decision to become a coach is probably not good for his Hall of Fame ventures at this point. but in my opinion, he will end up in the Hall of Fame. It's probably going to be 20 years from now, but he'll end up in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm not going to lie. Even if it was a discussion on the first ballot, seeing that Drew Brees is going to be on that ballot as well, most likely, I just don't see there being any possible way, unless it's Brees and Brady, that there will be 2 first ballot quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. Maybe I'm wrong, but take away the championships from Big Ben, take away the championships from Eli Manning, I think easily he's probably the most successful quarterback in that draft class if you take those Super Bowls away.
I don't think Big Ben is as good as everybody says he's been throughout his career. I think he's been very spoiled when it comes to wide receivers throughout his career.
No, he's got the TikTok crew. He's got the TikTok crew.
Yeah,
Corvette.
I mean,
no.
he also had Antonio.
It was better when he had Hines Ward. At least he had someone that was,
There we go.
Oh yeah, Rodgers.
That's the current juju. Unfortunately,
I can't even do TikTok dances. That was so bad.
Hey, that's all right. It was worth a try. But so I mean, I'll admit Big Ben goes down as one of the toughest sons of guns that ever played the game. I mean, probably not as tough as Rivers, who played on a torn ACL, but hey, I guess that's one thing that class will be known for, tough quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, with him too, like, you get all the way to the AFC Championship game with a title or with a Super Bowl on the line, you might as well just play. I don't care if it's ACL, I don't care if it's a torn rotator cuff, you might as well just find every way to, like...
Well, unless it's a concussion. We don't play with concussions in the National Football League.
Yeah, sorry, Patty Mahomes.
Well, he's active, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay, I was going to say, regarding Drew Brees, do you honestly think that he might actually retire, or do you think he's going to swerve us all and be like, no, I'm going to return for one last year and actually show that I can still play quarterback?
I think walking off the field in tears, blowing kisses to the crowd, if that's not a retirement call, I don't know what is.
And then my second question is, if he is going to announce his retirement, when is he going to do it?
I think what's going to happen is he's probably going to announce it probably after the Super Bowl, probably the week after the Super Bowl.
He probably just doesn't want to take the spotlight off the teams in the Super Bowl.
Right.
I agree.
I mean,
and plus, I think that he's looking to try to figure out what he's doing afterwards, besides being a dad. Obviously, I think he'd be great in the booth. I really do think he'd be a really good person in the booth.
He's going to be with NBC as
he
well.
Will be?
Yeah, he did sign the deal, so hopefully he'll replace Mr. Collinsworth there.
But I also think he'd be a good coach someday. I think
agree.
Purdue will be a great place that he should go to get ready to go to the NFL eventually. But I think he'll end up at Purdue as a coach eventually at some point.
Who knows? Even Sean Payton might take a shot on him, if we're being honest.
Maybe as like an assistant coach or like a quarterback's coach or something like that. That'd be really cool to see.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
I don't know if he wants to coach that organization at this point, because what's looking their future is not looking very bright with Jameis as their quarterback. But that's the point.
Yeah, Saints fans, you better be ready for like 30 picks and 30 touchdowns with 5,000 yards going in your future.
Hey, 5,000 passing yards is nothing to sneeze at, though. I mean,
I look at it this way. Yeah, it might not be something to sneeze at, but if you also throw 30 interceptions with 5,000 yards, that just means you're basically like, at this point, you're throwing a touchdown, you're throwing a pick every single game. And that's not going to cut it for the NFL. And like I said, New Orleans fans, have fun.
It's
probably best to go with Taysom Hill. You can win with him. It's been shown this year. Just go with him.
Can we just declare Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that man Jameis Winston gave up all of his possessions. He deserved that's the ultimate Walter Payton award right there.
Yeah.
Oh my
What about Dwayne Haskins though?
Oh, to the Steelers. Oh,
We did,
man.
yeah, we didn't have that on the plate, man.
Oh, man.
Why would they
Honestly,
sign Dwayne Haskins of all people to be a? That is
Jamarcus
just,
Russell.
the only thing I can think about with that situation
Yeah,
is
dude.
somehow Big Ben
Oh,
stays and he learns under him. But no, that's a worse signing.
Learn
than
under him.
Steelers.
He's gonna learn.
So
He's gonna
they
learn
get-
TikTok dances the whole time. Mike
They
Tomlin's
get rid-
gonna. Mike Tomlin's
they
gonna
get-
sit there and be like, "Man, did you learn the playbook this week?" What? Sorry, I'm too
Nah,
busy dancing
sorry,
with
I'm
Juju.
dancing.
So they get rid of the Days of Our Steelers out of the organization, and then they bring the new Days of Our Steelers starts. New season comes in and becomes the TikTok season, and next year it's gonna become the Dwayne Haskins season. It's over and over and over again. It's a soap opera of an organization. So
Well, we also went from basically Juju dancing all over people's logos at half 50-yard
Right.
line to what? Getting Dwayne Haskins? I'm sorry, Pittsburgh Steelers fans. That's not an upgrade from Big Ben. I get it, Big Ben maybe has had great talent around him to boost him to 2 championships in his career, but I look at it this way. I mean, from the game that we went to the game where he played up against the Buffalo Bills
He looked
in
like
Orchard
trash.
Park. And yeah, he didn't look good. He was completing
He looks
passes and
He looks like Jamarcus Russell, except worse.
except he's not as big as Jamarcus Russell.
I think we mentioned it on Canteen, Zach. I said, bury those Ohio State quarterbacks. They don't belong in the
yeah,
NFL.
they don't. No, they don't. They belong
Nope.
to CFL.
Yeah.
Well,
Same
but
as
This is a real
Fields.
question, though. This is a real question.
Okay.
What the hell is going on in Pittsburgh? They get rid
I
of.
don't know.
They trade every player away from the Pirates. Everybody in the Pirates gets traded away. They're all like half the teams on the Marlins right now.
Yeah.
And then you have the Steelers, who are just over and over again a soap opera.
Yeah.
And then the college teams can't do anything because they're so bad.
You
It's
know-
not even funny.
You know what? The Steelers should get Hard Knocks this year. Except
Yes,
instead
I
of Hard
agree.
Knocks, let's name it Days of Our Steelers, like you said.
Right.
And
And
just
then
instead of that super classy Hard Knocks thing, let's do like sand through the hourglass. So too is the day of our Steelers.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not with that stupid music in the background. They play Corvette in the background.
Oh my.
and then on top of
yes.
it, you got
And
this.
you see Juju dancing in the background. There
Yeah.
we
On
go.
top of all of this mess here in Pittsburgh, it gets even worse when you look about the Penguins, who are signing players. Well, they got rid of Jack Johnson at least, but
Okay.
they brought in Mike Matheson, who is a guy who was on the bench half the season for the Florida Panthers, and they traded their guy, Patrick Hornquist, the guy who basically keeps the locker room together.
They're-
I don't understand what's going on.
They're trying to be the next dumpster. They're trying to be the next dumpster sports city right there.
They're becoming the new factory of sadness.
Yeah.
Except they're the factory of days
Inst-
of our.
Instead of
Our
Cleveland.
Yeah, I know.
They're trying to replace
I mean,
Cleveland. You know what?
Problem is,
They were so sick of Cleveland being better than them at tanking, then better of them in the playoffs. So now they're like, fuck it. We're going to be better at them at being the city of sadness, and we're going to be better than them at just sucking in general.
Right.
well, the problem with Pittsburgh is, I don't know, just they're going to be a dumpster fire for a while. And unfortunately with them, they just, even this year, they were taken as a joke, going 11-0 against crappy teams, and then you lose to a team without a name.
The
Then you lose
Washington
to-
football team is a name.
The Washington football
Yeah,
team.
the
The
Washington
Washington football team.
The
And
redacted name.
for
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
with Pittsburgh, I honestly thought their first loss was going to be against the Buffalo Bills, but I guess I was wrong.
Oh man. But
It's just
hey,
called their players the redactors.
there you go.
Yes.
Oh man. But all right, so now we got to talk about a lot of these coaching vacancies. I probably slurred that, but anyway, Dan Campbell's now the Lions head coach. What's his name? Staley is now the head coach of the Chargers. Man, fuck you, Spanos. And then Nick Sirianni is the new coach of the Eagles. So what are your thoughts on these three hirings?
As far as Dan Campbell goes, Lions, yeah, you might have bumped up your defense, but you didn't bump up your offense, and you better be ready for Green Bay for years to come, because that offense for Green Bay is top of the art for a reason. And sorry, Lions fans, but there's a reason why you're dead last every year.
There's a reason why we all watch Thanksgiving football, just to watch the Lions lose every year. Quite literally.
There's a reason that Lions fans watch too. They watch to get drunk, then eat turkey, then watch their team. Or, I'm sorry, they watch, they get drunk, they eat turkey, their team loses. They're happy either way.
I really hope they never take them off the Thanksgiving game. To me, they're literally, it's become a family tradition to watch the Lions lose. That's literally what we say as a family. We all watch it.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. I'm
not
not
buy a
gonna
Lions jersey. It's going to say lose on Thanksgiving on the back of it and wear every Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I
definitely.
got to correct something from last week's show, by the way. I said it was the bull in the ring drill that Dan Campbell did that was controversial. It was the Oklahoma drill that he did was controversial in Miami, and the league banned it in 2019. So we know he's got a reputation as a hard-ass coach, a guy who is no shits given. I'm going to make sure that my guys are tough.
I don't know if you were watching his press conference at all with what he was saying, but apparently he was saying, guys, I'm going to do everything in my power to basically turn this organization around. I'm sorry, if you had to say that in a press conference that you're going to basically turn the organization around, maybe you're already the worst hire for the Lions ever. He's like, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to tell you how many games they're going to win. I'm just basically going to come in, coach this team, and just go from there. Cool? You can say all you want, but if you can't do it on the field, then I don't give a shit what kind of coach you're going to be. You're just going to be a laughingstock and probably be out of a job in 2 years.
Yeah, he probably will. They're still regretting the day they fired Jim Caldwell. I don't care what anyone says. They're regretting that day. Obviously, he might be in the running for another coaching job, but Staley was hired by the Chargers. So, shocker, I guess is the only way to put it. Because it sounded like it was Brian Dable's job right there.
Now, Brian, as being a Chargers fan, who would you have taken over him?
Eric Bieniemy, not a question.
I would have done the same.
I'm shocked that he wasn't even in consideration. I'm shocked that you didn't even give him a doubt. I think they tried to request the interview with him, and it just didn't come to...
He probably said, absolutely, fuck no, I'm not going to go work for... I'm not going to go coach for that franchise. It's a joke. Sorry, it's literally a locale for a reason.
For me, I guess Brian Dable would have made the most sense because look, in 3 years he took Josh Allen to be able to turn him into an actual legitimate quarterback. I think he could have done the same thing. Justin Herbert.
But I'll tell you what, you've seen what Sean McVay has done to the league. He's made other teams see these 30-somethings and say, hey, they can coach. They probably have the lowest resume, and somehow they're getting coaching gigs. Now, I'm not saying that Staley didn't deserve a shot. I'm glad he's coming in because you want to know what? It's not just about Justin Herbert. It's also about Joey Bosa's big contract. And Joey Bosa has not lived... He's been the Kardashian of the football field the last few years. Finally bring someone in and make him start playing like the defensive end that you're paying him to be.
Right, I agree.
I'm really surprised no team decided to go after. There hasn't been talk about Brian Kelly coming to the NFL. I'm surprised of it
That's the
as
Notre
well.
Dame coach, right?
Yeah. He's also, did you hear what happened in Notre Dame this week?
What's that?
There were some recruiting violations.
Oh boy.
So there's more and more to pile on this man's resume. So he killed a cameraman, told him to go up on a lift, and the thing blew over. He knew it was dangerous for him to go up that day. It was like 39 mile per hour winds or something, and the kid died. And then he was not sorry about it. And then this happens. It's just been pile on. There's other stuff. I can't mention all the stuff, but.
Oh boy.
I know getting off topic, but he's literally, I don't know why he's still coach at Notre Dame at this point.
I don't know.
And they've not won a championship, I know, since he's the coach.
I'm pretty sure the joke under his tenure was, what's the difference between cereal and Notre Dame football? And it's only one belongs in a bowl. So, yeah, still proving that.
No, I was gonna add something too. I guess Staley's first name is Brandon. I was gonna say
Brandon
that.
Staley. I corrected that.
One and two. With him, yeah, it's great that he's a former defensive guy and can do wonders for your guys' defense. But if you guys can't keep guys healthy, like you can't keep your players healthy
I'm
more
hoping
than
they
maybe
fired
16
the training staff too.
If you guys can't stay healthy for all 16 games, then bringing in a guy like him, he's going to have a lot of shit on his plate to have to deal with that defense.
But hey, here's the other thing that benefits Herbert as well, is that Brandon Staley's a former quarterback, and he actually talked smack about John Gruden, saying he was the better quarterback when they both played together. So
that's great. Yeah, I mean, he could probably give some tips to Herbert, but you don't know how good of a quarterback he was either.
Much like I said about Robert Sala's hire with the Jets, a lot's going to weigh on his offensive coaching staff.
Very true, and it's like that for anybody's offensive coaching staff.
But hey, Robert Saleh got Mike LaFleur there.
I mean, his brother Matt's doing wonderful things in Green Bay, so he might as well have the other brother do wonderful things in New York. Fortunately, New York.
Did he teach him the choking methods?
Oh my God, no.
Or does Mike LaFleur know CPR? That's the big question. All right.
You might need to have to resuscitate the Jets in some way, right?
They've needed that for what, 40-something years?
Yeah. Just
It's
about.
really messed up when there's a team in the NHL named after that franchise. It's really sad, to be honest.
What is
both
it?
franchises, the Winnipeg Jets, named after the New York Jets,
Oh,
and both
boy.
franchises are literally legacy failures, quite literally.
Yep. They're supposed to be the team. You know what? When I think Jets, they're supposed to take off, not crash into the ground.
Right.
Jeez. All right. Yeah, and then in a surprising move, the Colts offensive coordinator, Sirianni, is going to the Eagles. A lot of players not going to be happy about this. They wanted Deuce Staley. Is this Jeffrey Lurie trying to flex his control and say, was this a Carson Wentz type hire, I guess, is the best way to put it.
I don't think he really cares about what the players have to say. I think he only cares about himself, and it's been obvious since he bought the team, or took over the team. So
It kind of sounds like it to me. I mean,
isn't he the guy who owned the Marlins and ran them into the ground? Same guy?
Jeffrey Lurie?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. We can look that up.
pretty sure.
I'll let you guys debate that. I'm going to look this up real quick.
as far as this guy, I mean, do you think it could be very well a plot to be able to bring in Carson Wentz? So the only thing is Carson Wentz hasn't shown to be like a 5-year max contract quarterback. He's shown that he deserves like absolutely no money at all.
He's not. He never owned the Marlins, by the way.
Who was the other guy? There was a guy with the same last name then, or similar last.
But he's number 313 or 319 on the Forbes 400 list of richest people in America.
Don't care about what.
And he's a film company person, so that's probably what else he owns. So he makes terrible movies.
Probably works for 20th Century Fox, or is his 20th Century Studios now?
Something like that.
Who
But,
knows at this point?
no, I'll tell you what the problem with the NFC lease teams are. These owners don't give the coaches control. They want a coach who's going to follow whatever scheme they want, and that's the end of it. I mean, look at Dallas. I mean, if Jerry Jones would just sit back like the old man in the rocking chair and just let his coaches do what they want to do, maybe they'd find some success over there and not be a joke since the 90s.
It's a gong show is what it is.
Exactly. But the problem is
like
that
we-
gong never rings for Jerry Jones. It's just,
No.
keep going. You look ridiculous. Just keep going.
Like we said before, Brian, it must be something about those Dallas teams. Because even the Mavericks.
See, he's brainwashed Mark Cuban as well.
Yes, yeah. Mark Cuban is literally like the Jerry Jones of the NBA. He will literally go with his team to every single game and act like he, has all the power in the world. The team, yes, you're the owner, but come on now.
The only difference is he's kind of a better person than Jerry Jones is.
That's
saying.
very debatable.
He's also he went to IU, so yeah.
Yeah. Hey, perfect.
It's very debatable because he has said a lot of some things that he probably shouldn't have.
I don't know. But if they just let him have control, then, hey, I mean, maybe they'd find some success over there. But I'm telling you, I think this hiring he wants Carson Wentz as his quarterback. It's very apparent that Jeffrey Lurie wants him more than Jalen Hurts.
Not a problem. Does the Colts have the kind of money to afford his contract? That's the problem, too.
Yeah, there was a rumor about the Colts getting Carson Wentz, though. So let's talk about that.
I think Stafford's going to the Colts, but that's my opinion.
I think they need to get rid of Stafford. They just ruined his prime.
I think that makes a lot more sense for him going in there than Carson Wentz.
Yeah. I think it would be great to see Frank Reich and Carson Wentz get back together. I think that'd be an excellent pairing.
There's also been rumors, and this is behind the scenes. No one's talking about it, but Aaron Rodgers, he could be going to the Colts. You never know, because him and Pat McAfee being closer and closer. And Aaron Rodgers hinted that he was coming down here to meet and do the show in person with Pat McAfee this summer in the off season.
Okay.
So,
and hey, off topic from sports as well. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he'll be hosting Jeopardy very soon as well. So that should be a very fun episode.
Right.
Ken
And when he
Jennings
was- And when he was on, he was
didn't he win that tournament when he was on there?
I think so. He was a
He won the
whiz.
celebrity one. So he's a very smart guy.
He is.
knows a lot about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Big fan.
So, yeah, exactly. Now, the Texans, this job is now between Jim Caldwell and, surprise, surprise here, Josh McCown.
Yeah, they're going to hire him. That's what's going to happen.
I could see that.
It sounds like it's going to be a done deal at this point. I think Josh McCown is going to be probably a head coach. But
Look,
honestly, we know the IQ he's got. Do you think it's going to be good enough to be a head coach?
I think it's good enough to be an offensive coordinator. I don't know
Or
if he's
quarterback
ready
coach.
for the head coaching job yet. He is not under anyone's tree as far as head coaching tree.
That's
So-
what we said about the guy in New York. I don't even know his name. He was a special teams coordinator for.
Joe Judge.
Yeah, Joe Judge. We said the same thing about him, and they did decently this year with him at the helm.
Joe Judge is scary. Like, he's really scary. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't he get in an altercation with a fist fight with one of his coaches?
I think he
Season?
did.
Like, I think he's like the dark side of Bill Belichick.
That's why he's on the special teams.
Yeah, exactly. But
You
no.
kick a field goal, I'm gonna get mad at you. I'm gonna yell at you.
But
Get in a fist fight with
Oh
you.
my god.
yeah, but I'll tell you, as far as Josh McCown goes, I just don't know. I mean, I put Josh McCown and Nick Foles in the same category of they're both very, very smart, high IQ quarterbacks, but they don't have near the talent to survive in this league.
Not as coaches, at least.
Well, as
I-
coaches, I think they could. As players, no.
No.
But
You would think that you would go with experience over somebody that's played in the NFL as a quarterback for very long. Like Jim Caldwell has a lot more coaching experience than Josh McCown does. But if you think about it this way, with quarterback IQ, it might be able to help out the Texans, and maybe he can actually help out Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson's not going to be there next year, though. He's going to
You think
hold
so?
out.
You think he's going to be able to, you think he's going to find his way out?
He's going to play Le'Veon and say, I'm holding out.
That would be the stupidest thing for him to do, honestly.
It's actually, I think it's a good idea for him. I think that will make him look better in the long run. I know it's not going to look good right in the short run, but long term it will look better on him.
Based on how much he's divided that locker room, do you really think anyone's going to have any respect for him entering the season?
No, I don't think so. Well, the thing is, too, with the whole Le'Veon Bell situation, yes, he held out, but look what the team he went to as well. You think the freaking New York Jets are any better of a team to go to? I don't care how much money he got paid. Yes, he ultimately went to the Chiefs,
But he's just sitting back now. He's just reclining like
he's
this.
basically sitting back
He's
like,
just
you know what?
reclining
I
here
already-
like, okay, Travis Kelce, okay, Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, lead me to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's basically getting a ride to possibly win another a championship for the first time in his career, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that.
They're pulling him
But-
like in the Iditarod to a Super Bowl.
True.
But, yeah, so
The Texans just need a lot of help in general.
they could. But I'm telling you, watch this. They get Tua Tagovailoa. They supposedly will get both first-round picks from the Dolphins and Xavier Howard. They could go into legitimacy because then they could draft Devontae Smith number 3. Then somehow, if Jalen Waddle falls to their pick, they could reunite the Alabama band over there.
Yeah, but
I'm
also
not-
depends on who's going to be their head coach too. If it's Josh McCown with all those guys there, I just don't know if I can see them actually being
Yeah.
legitimate.
Tua will just
Maybe-
Tua will be shifted to running back.
Tua will.
Tua will because he's not
Oh
a
my
quarterback. He's not a
Nope.
quarterback. How does it feel that Jalen Hurts started he started 4 games to end the year and he was still the third best rookie quarterback behind Burrow and Herbert?
I know that's sad.
It's really sad.
That's got a sting for Tua to be the 4th best quarterback, and you played the second most out of all the rookie quarterbacks.
Also, Tua got himself benched the second game of the year, second to last game of the year too.
You know what? I'd say Luton. I'd say Luton's ahead of Tua, but I'm not going to give Luton that satisfaction. But anyway, so on to the NBA here, and what the fuck is going on with the Knicks?
Yeah, I mean,
They're being the Knicks. That's what they're doing. They're being the Knicks. They're always been the Knicks and always will be.
Oh boy.
kind of seems like the Knicks of the '90s when they were actually legitimate enough, holding teams to a surprising. I'm going to round it up to 103 points per game and 43% shooting. I'm sorry, but 43% shooting, that still seems like a pretty good shooting night. Yes, it's not 50. You want to be 50 or above. But 103 points, that's tough to do in today's NBA.
We'll see if that holds. It won't hold. Let's be
It's
honest
definitely,
here.
it's
the
definitely
Knicks.
not going to.
It's the Knicks, and if they do make the playoffs, they're going out. They're getting swept in the first round. So,
Just like they did in
Oh
2012
man.
yep.
Yeah.
with Jason Kidd, Amari Stoudemire,
Another
Carmelo Anthony.
playoffs.
They played better
Yeah.
whenever one of those guys were gone. Isn't that what happened?
Yep.
Oh man.
That was
it?
their only like 50-win season as of late too, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh boy,
Um,
I see the third best big three in the last 10 years got reunited there.
yeah, just recently Kyrie Irving came back to the came back to the Nets after everything he did outside of it.
Yeah.
Um,
The Antonio Brown of the NBA.
And then they lose to the Cavaliers because they can't play defense.
yeah, Colin
Because they have no
Sexton.
defense. They literally have no defense.
They probably
Quite literally.
they probably traded that away for
Yeah, 'cause-
James Harden.
Yeah, they traded away. Yes, and they lost to the team they traded the guy to. Their defensive player, quite literally. What's his face? Can't think of his name. Hairball.
Oh,
Man.
Jarrett Allen.
Jared Allen. He's like literally the only thing they had pretty much when it came to defense
Oh
before.
boy. Dear
So-
Lord.
And unfortunately, DeAndre Jordan is just not as good as he used to be either. I mean, he was great. He was a great center in LA with the Clippers. Then he went to Dallas, then the Knicks, then the Nets, and just his career is just sunk down and down
Wasn't
and down.
he like 35 years old or something?
Something like that. I mean,
Getting up there in
he's
age.
getting up there in age. I
Once you
mean,
pass 32, you're basically done for in the NBA.
yeah, you're basically
Alright.
past your prime at this point.
33 is the retiree, like the retiring year.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I think somebody should tell LeBron that because he's like 36, I think, and he's still in the
got
NBA.
more he can accomplish.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
probably
another
will.
ring, right?
I think he's 35, but
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's trying to stay
Um,
till Bronny gets there, unless Bronny keeps smoking dope, and then he just locks him up and just starts beating him.
yeah.
He's gonna be the lost
Okay.
kid in his basement there. Guys, do you think Steph Curry might be back? He's like averaging 30 points a game right now. Over 30 points a game. And yeah, the Warriors aren't the Warriors like they used to be, but Steph Curry might be showing that he deserves to
Well, what's
possibly
the
be in the
Warriors?
talk for it.
Keep in mind, I'm letting you lead this because I don't watch much NBA, but what are the Warriors' record right now? Are they above 500?
I'm not too sure. I haven't
I
checked.
think they are, and it's only because Curry's been carrying them. So I think he's already won MVP already.
He's Steph
I don't
Curry
know.
for a reason. He's
I think the only
he's
person
eating.
that could touch him when it comes to MVP is literally Dame Dollar, and I don't think anybody else can even get close to that right at this point in time.
True.
'Cause-
Hey, Luka Magic. He is like plus 450 in the MVP
he's playing for the
odds.
Mavericks, though. He's playing for the Mavericks.
Okay, so what?
He's going to be
Okay.
Tony Romo for him.
Okay, see, him and KP are probably the two assets for Dallas right now until freaking Chris, like Brian and I have been saying, we don't think he's gonna play a whole entire year. At least I would love to see it, but he's not going to.
Now, what's
Um,
with them liking big men that shoot threes?
I don't know.
Seriously.
It's probably Mike Cubans thing.
Dirk?
Or Cubans thing.
But the thing
Kristaps.
with him is he doesn't just shoot threes. He also likes to go inside and dunk and get alley oops.
Oh, I know, but that's not the first thing that he's known for, though. That's what I'm getting at. Like the
Yeah, but
first
at
thing
least
you
he
see with
was-
Kristaps is the threes.
Yeah, and he likes to shoot him from long distances too. He'll like shoot it like almost close to like half court and hit him. He's better at 3-pointers than freaking Luka Doncic is, and it's kind of sad, especially when Doncic is in the MVP rankings.
Yeah. Oh, man.
As far as Sacramento, I don't know if you've seen.
They're being
Oh, yeah.
Sacramento. That's
Yeah, they're being
Good
Sacramento basically.
They're a joke.
120. They're allowing 123 points
on
per
top of
game.
another dumpster fire. On top of
Yep.
another dumpster
Well,
fire.
Well, if a shooter's confidence is ever down, just tell him, hey, look, we're playing Sacramento next week. You can get back on a roll.
Really, really bad when their best player on the team is literally Whiteside. I can't even say his first name.
Hassan
Son.
Whiteside.
Yeah, I'm not there right now. But yeah, it's really sad when you go to the 2K ratings, it gets even worse when you see that Whiteside is an 81 overall.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, the team literally is like a
Yeah.
79 overall or something in the game.
Forget Whiteside. We got Bam Adebayo now in Miami.
You know what? And they have Harrison Barnes, and he has been legit trash. Like, even since his days in Golden State, I don't even know why that man even still has a job in the NBA.
Darian Fox is obviously not proven that he's there, and I don't know. I don't think he's going to develop. So
I mean, Fox is great, but I don't think he's leading a team to the playoffs great.
I don't think he's gonna develop into a star player like they were hoping he would out of the draft. So
Man.
Unless he leaves and then goes to a team that might actually use him like he should be
well,
used.
that's what they do. That's what Markel Fultz they did with Markel Fultz. They sent him to Orlando to see if he would turn around his career, but that's obviously not happened. So
Oh, man.
And right now he's hurt too.
yeah,
Out for
so,
the rest of the year. So
Yeah.
I guess he's not going to be able to prove himself very much this year.
right.
Yeah, so I also got to ask, well, we have you here. It's not on the notes here. I'm going to go a little off script, but what do you think about the Oladipo trade away?
So he doesn't try for literally a year and a half, and then he goes to Houston and acts like he was never injured before and starts scoring 32 points a game and being a star player again. It's ridiculous, but I'm not really mad about it. I think the Pacers are playing better without him on the team. I think the negative energy is off the roster now. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of what we got in return. We got a cancer patient in return, or
That's
kidney
Oh,
patient.
kidney.
Well, what is a kidney mass a form of cancer?
I think
Or
that's.
what is-
I'm not a medical person, but doesn't sound good either way.
To me, when I think of that, it sounds like some sort of cancerous disease because it's growing inside of your kidney. So I would think that would be a form of cancer. But if it's
Sounds
not, then I'm
like it.
wrong. But he's a cancer patient. He's not gonna probably. Well, they say he's gonna play this year. I don't think it's good for him to play this year. It's probably not healthy for him to play. I think he should sit out the entire year. Come back next year, but 2 second-round picks is not good enough. I think we should have got a first-rounder out of it.
Oh yeah. Didn't Houston get like a crap ton of draft capital out of that?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
We
yeah.
talked about
basically
that
got,
last
like,
week.
Yeah, they basically switched with Brooklyn, and they took on like a lot of first round
They
picks.
took
and
4 first-round picks or something ridiculous like that.
I think they have one every single year until 2027, if I remember
And
correctly.
in a few years, they'll be the Kentucky Wild Devils or whatever, because they'll be filled with Kentucky and Duke players.
Well, Duke isn't very good this year, though, so I don't
Hey,
know.
Duke?
Duke is literally
Duke, Kentucky, UNC, first time ever in our lifetimes, all three of those teams are unranked.
right.
And none of
That's
them have beat a
insane.
ranked team.
So we'll see what
So-
happens with that.
Hey, we'll see. But
I'm
Probably
trying to
Virginia
remember who
or
the
something.
Pacers got, other than I think they got a couple players, didn't they?
We got Carius LeVert. That's all we got.
That's
from,
what I thought.
and that's the cancer patient. So
oh yeah,
I mean, I like LeVert. I think he was a good return, but not with cancer. I think we should have backed out of that immediately after we learned it. But whatever. We knew we were going to lose the Oladipo regardless.
Jason's got
so.
his college notes. What?
No, I don't have college notes. I just have what was in that trade itself too. The Rockets literally did get they had 3 Brooklyn firsts, 1 Milwaukee first, which I think the Cavs or so had, and then 4 Brooklyn first round swaps. I was telling
See.
Brian last week. Even if they suck this year, they literally have so much cap. Not caps. They have so much draft capital that they can literally just revolve around their team with just
Well,
draft picks for the next foreseeable future.
Hey, they did one thing right. They got rid of Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, now he's in
Man,
Brooklyn as the assistant coach.
why would anyone want to play for him? He hasn't proven one bit that he deserves to be a head coach. He's never even proven that he's a
I'm so
legitimate
glad
coach.
the Pacers didn't hire him. That was
Yeah.
supposed to be what was going to happen. I literally almost lost my mind
Oh
over it.
boy.
Then we got another white Nate, and he's actually working out very well.
Yeah.
But
Now,
Oh,
if you're seeing Frank Vogel, the former Pacers
Oh
head
my-
coach in Miami, how do you feel
I
about
mean,
that?
L.A. We got Spoelstra.
Oh yeah,
We're happy
that's
with
right,
Eric
LA.
Spoelstra.
LA. I mean, yeah,
Shaking his head.
he literally leaves the Pacers. It couldn't win a championship because of Miami and
he goes to
LeBron.
Orlando.
Then he goes to join up LeBron and
No.
wins.
He
Well, he went
leaves.
to
He goes to
Orlando.
Orlando, and then he gets fired from Orlando, and then he goes to the Lakers, and he's really not a coach at that point because LeBron's the coach. So he's just
He's
basically
just riding around getting
Just sitting back, like I said earlier.
doesn't make me happy. But I think that era of the Pacers basketball literally had a lot of issues, and there's reasons why we never won anything. And his name starts with P, and his last name starts with a G, and his number is 13.
Oh boy.
And the funny thing about him is he still ends up going to another LA team, basically same stadium, different locker room, and apparently still can't
For
play in
now,
the
they
playoffs.
build whenever their new stadium gets built. But
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. So for first time ever, we got a commercial break, guys. For your audio listeners, we got a message from Anchor coming up. But when we do return, we're going to talk about NBCSN's getting shut down. And then, of course, we're going to have your Sunday game predictions. That's all coming up after this word. Don't mock me for my advertising job, but we got a word from Anchor coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to SCN Sports Talk. So, well, we're still questioning why you guys are here. And if you are, we thank you for being here still. All right, we're back from our Anchor break.
different.
What was that?
A couple things look different.
Yeah, I'm an idiot, and I unplugged my light and didn't realize it was unplugged, so I changed the bulb. And he's got a new hat.
And why am I wearing this hat?
Yep, well, we're going to talk some NBCSN real quick. So, NBCSN is being removed from the lineup, rumored right after the Stanley Cup. So, sports leagues that will be impacted by this, of course, Premier League, probably the A10 as well. The A10 conference uses NBCSN. But main leagues involved IndyCar, which has a deal through 2022, a gold package, and 8 races per year on the main network. NASCAR's paying $4.4 billion with no digital package, and they got 2 racing shows on there. And then hockey's deal expires at the end of the year in their 10-year, $200 million deal.
And you're looking, when it comes to the NHL, though, it's only $200 million. So you just got to keep in mind that when they made the deal, like, as you see, like
2011.
Yeah, 2011. That was the year that the NHL went through a shortage season because of lockout. But or was it 2013? I don't remember what year it was.
It was 2011 or 2012. It was the same year as the football or the basketball one, I believe.
But the reason why it's only 200 million is because they look at the numbers and they say, oh, the numbers aren't very good. It's because the bars and stuff don't show the game, stuff like that. They refuse to do that and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, they're going to get a lot of money this time around. It's going to be over $1 billion. I'm thinking it's probably going to be around 1.7 billion. I'm guessing it won't be as high as NASCAR. It won't be as high as a lot of the other ones, but it'll be over $1 billion.
Well, the funny stat in the beginning for me was seeing NASCAR gets paid more than the NFL does for the Sunday night deal, and Sunday night brings in way more money. Obviously, that'll change with the next network TV deals, assuming that NBC gets that Sunday night game back. But NBCSN leaving, this to me, and I've told these guys, it's like you said, silver spoon. I don't think it's being fed on a silver spoon. I think it's they're force feeding you. They're shoving a tube down your throat and
They've been trying to do it for years.
They're trying to force feed you Peacock, whether you like it or not.
It started with the IndyCar Pass, and it hasn't ended since. It's gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse.
NBC Sports Gold. That's what they're going for. They're trying to be the first network, I think, to be fully digital. And
well, you know, a lot of this stuff is going to go streamed, unfortunately. I mean, cable is going to slowly fizz out, it feels like.
It is, but I guarantee you also the next TV bargaining rights deal with Dish Network. Of course, Viacom CBS had that issue for the last 5 weeks of the season. You know, ABC, NBC, when they have to negotiate again with DirecTV.
Viacom?
What was that?
You say Viacom?
No, Viacom.
Yeah, they own CBS.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're playing hardball. They want billions to broadcast their network on satellite and cable just caves every single time. They're like, we'll pay you whatever you want. We don't want to be known as the company that gets rid of our services. You know, they're just going to keep being greedy. This is nothing but corporate greed at its finest.
Yeah. Well, it's also the movie theaters are going to all get shut down. It's all going to everything's digital.
I'm not even saying this from a political standpoint. This is just straight greed. And I hope NHL kind of gives NBCSN the middle finger and says we're going to Fox or somewhere else.
Yeah, it's been rumored it's gonna. Well, there's more rumors out there that's going to go to ESPN, but I don't believe ESPN wants NHL. I think they want to get some sort of NHL deal. So I think what's going to happen is that they're going to have an ESPN Plus deal, which every night they're going to have an ESPN Plus game. That'll probably range up to $100 million there, just off of that, at the minimum.
They need more respect when it comes to the finals, though. That is insulting, to say the least. That
throw it on USA or Golf. Well, not only that, they threw it a playoff game one time on Golf Channel. The Golf Channel had a game one time.
Yeah. Okay, that was the fourth network I was thinking of earlier.
Yeah, the Golf Channel.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Hockey gets treated the absolute worst when it comes to championship runs because basketball's on ABC. The Super Bowl rotates between three networks every year. And they're all on basic cable, mind you. Basketball,
CBS.
Basketball, all 7 games, not to mention Jimmy Kimmel's on at 8 o'clock before each game. I'm just saying, you know, and then you got hockey that, okay, are they in game 5? Okay, now we'll move them to the main network because it's an elimination game.
Right. Well, it makes a lot of sense for Fox to be the one to get it. That gets it as well because they got all the local stuff. So to me, it makes the most sense to do that. And then a lot of hockey fans, we've been saying we want Fox back. We cannot stand NBC's coverage. That's why they keep firing everybody. They got Jeremy Roenick gets fired over. Well, that wasn't. We didn't want him to be fired, but he was making sexual comments to Catherine Tappan. She's a joke of a person as well. I'm not even going to start with her, but it's just like, and then it was Mike Milbury. I don't know how he was still hired by them.
Come on.
It's just, I don't know.
The hockey was good with Doc Emmerich calling it. Now he's gone.
And now no one, NBC's dead now when it comes to hockey. Based off of that.
Yeah, they just simply don't care about that. They barely care about the racing, but they'll invest every single dime they have into the football package. And I imagine, though, Mike Tirico's got to be getting fed up over there because that man Al Michaels is never going to keel. I don't want to say keel over, but he's never going to leave his post, and that's what he was brought in for, to be the Sunday night commentator. And Al Michaels keeps sitting there saying, "Bitch, you're not getting my spot."
Nope, it's always going to be Al Michaels.
Yeah,
it seems like.
He's going to be there till he's 85 years old and can't even see
For-
the field anymore.
For those that have cable, though, I'll just give you the heads up on this, that if you do have Xfinity, you will have access to Peacock. It comes with your Xfinity contract. It should be, because my
Good to know.
grandparents have access to it. And I watched Dale Jr. unloaded the entire time, so
Yeah.
I'm at their house. So
Another thing I should point out, IMSA and all the lower racing series that NBCSN covers is going to Peacock. IndyCar and NASCAR will be going to USA Network,
yeah, it's
which is so dumb.
so dumb.
And here's the question, what are they going to do with the Olympics now? Because we know the Olympics might not happen this year.
It's not gonna happen.
What's going to happen with the winter one when things supposedly should be back to normal?
I'm gonna throw everything on Peacock.
And not to mention, again, Tirico's contract ends after the next Super Bowl. Does he finally say, you know what, you're not giving me enough sports to cover? You're not giving me the Sunday night package with Drew Brees like I was promised, so I'm out. You know, he should just leave in the next bargaining agreement for rights. If TNT or someone gets the Thursday night game, he should just go there.
That'd be crazy if TNT got it. NFL on TNT.
Yeah, NFL Thursday night football
On TNT.
with Charles
I mean-
Barkley, because they
Oh,
love throwing Charles Barkley everything.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
Unfortunately, with that, I
Come on.
mean,
Come on, TNT looks for any any reason. This is how they stay relevant in sports. They look for any reason to throw Charles Barkley in there.
Yeah.
What is it? Golf coverage. They're like, Charles Barkley's down on the greens. Charles Barkley's by far the worst golfer anybody's ever seen.
well, I don't know if you guys are big wrestling guys, but unfortunately, Charles Barkley ain't there for AEW. He's not going to be there for football. Come on now.
No, but here's the thing as well, and here's why you should also be concerned if you're a WWE fan, because that's on USA Network. Now you've got all the big guys from the sports channel coming in, and they're going to take over your WWE Monday Night Raw that everyone likes.
The thing with Vince and WWE, he can find another program to go there, and plus, I don't really care.
They'll take it
I
to
hope-
Fox like they did with SmackDown.
You know what? I look at it this way: WWE is just not as good as
I
it
don't
used
know.
to be.
I
will say Fox needs to do something when it comes to a idea. They need to start looking at doing something what NBC's doing. I'm not saying I want that to happen. That's not what I want to, but they need to start looking at something like that, because they're the only one out there that doesn't have anything when it comes to an online streaming platform. But they sold their part of Hulu off when they got bought out by Disney.
Yeah. See, I don't know.
Oh.
Like, NBC's main attraction is we're going to bring in, so we're going to have the world's shittiest coverage, but hey, we're going to bring in guys like Dale Jr. and Drew Brees to be our commentators, so that
Right.
way you're entertained by the greatest in their sports.
Right.
I think Fox in a few years will probably have something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it
They'll
time.
probably call it Fox Track, or like they did back in the day. The Fox Track was basically the puck had the line behind the puck showing you where the puck was basically on the ice. It was
Yeah.
annoying, but
I don't know. They'll figure out something, and then, but Fox honestly does the best covering sports right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that's even a deniable fact that they put so much energy into it. We were talking earlier about what if they bring the NHL there, because if it's any indication based on the World Series, they brought in A-Rod and Alex Ortiz and the Big Hurt. They put together an excellent baseball team. And they're soon going to get rid of Joe Buck, which is going to be great, because it's going to be the ball is gone to someone else.
well, you got to keep in mind, if Fox does get NHL, they've said that they will be getting rid of NASCAR, and that's going to screw them over big time. And they're going to have to look for some. They're not going to
NBC.
stay on. They're not going to go straight to NBC. That's not going to happen.
Oh, NBC they'll pay big money for the exclusive rights, and then they'll say half the races will be on Peacock, the other half will
90%
be...
of them will be on there.
Yep. like I said, this is just a
Only
sense
crown
of,
jewel races will be on.
was it Peacock has 2,500 subscribers. They're looking for any reason to be relevant at this point.
Right.
You know, they already, it's them and Netflix. Them and Netflix are looking for any reason to be relevant, and Netflix especially because
Netflix should get into sports.
Was it Netflix got rid of The Office, and then they're like, oh, that's a shame, but we're gonna raise your rate $2.
They should really look into getting into sports, though. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
I wish they would. They do. I don't know. Do they have sports documentaries already?
Yeah, they do. They just don't have the sport, like the live sports and stuff like that.
They'll never beat ESPN in that, though. ESPN
No.
is the best sports documentaries. The Last Dance.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
The Last
Well,
Dance
that's on Netflix now.
It is?
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, see, like, they'll never beat them with that. Was it the Project 11 they did, I guess, was really good. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. Then, of course, you got... oh, didn't even realize my mic wasn't hooked up. But yeah, but you guys heard me, so it's all good. What was it? 60 Minutes, too, did a nice piece on Alex Smith this week. So that was really nice. I posted it on our Facebook page, but yeah, I mean, Netflix should do something like that instead of mooching off of other people.
Right.
So, we'll see. And we'll see what happens in this NBCSN dumpster fire, because I'm sure they're going to get rid of anybody not named Liam McHugh, Al Michaels, or Mike Tirico, or now here's a guy.
Right. Yeah. They don't care. So.
Yeah, so... Well,
Nothing
and
beats
Rick
his,
Allen. Well, maybe Rick Allen they'll get rid of. That would be a good thing.
Well, Dan Patrick could be gone too, so that's gonna be surprising.
Don't know. Dan Patrick has his Peacock show with Rich Eisen there, so...
Yeah, maybe he'll go on the USA though. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So, yeah, Jason, you were saying something, though?
I said nothing beats that Collinsworth slide in.
They won't do that for another 2 years. and soon it'll be the Drew Brees slide.
Oh my God, he better not. He better not follow suit. Is all I gotta say.
Come on, it'll be the Brees and Tirico slide.
Oh jeez.
If Tirico decides to stay, otherwise it'll be the Liam McHugh slide.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's get on to our Sunday predictions to wrap this whole thing up. So, Zach and I went 2-2. Zach went 2-2, but his podcast never uploaded.
Yeah, because it recorded as an MKV file instead of an MP4, and we weren't going to record it because re-record it. It was not going to happen. So
yeah, it's understandable. But Jason went 4-0. I'm calling blasphemy on that.
Jason, well,
Jason.
The funny thing is, it would have been 3-1, but I changed my mind on the Bucks against the Saints because, as shown in that game, you can't beat a team more than 3 times in a season. And unfortunately, I don't care if it's a regular season. The playoffs is a whole different ball game, and that's why I decided to change my mind.
Yes, exactly. But so the first game up is the Bucks and the Packers. The Packers are favored by 3.5. Twitter did not come through for us, so you get that Twitter. And another thing of note, which is very important, Antonio Brown is going to be out for the game. That's a big loss for the Bucks. I think we already know who these two are.
I've already picked the Packers.
Yeah, go Pack, go.
Yeah,
it's
Packers.
Lambeau. No one's going to beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau during the playoffs. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Especially not in the snow.
Especially not in the snow.
Yeah, Tom Brady knows how to play in the snow, but none of those players around him do. So I'm going Packers as well. So I think that's a unanimous pick.
Also, I have to note, it don't matter if Antonio Brown is going to be playing or not. He still has Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
Yeah, but that takes away their that takes away another target, and that just leaves teams able to put some added pressure on Godwin and Evans there. So,
But for this game, it's very tough for me. Yes, I still am going to go with the Packers, but the Bucks defense, I'm a little scared about that. Aaron Rodgers drew his picks against them the first matchup. This time, maybe not throw to Devontae Adams so much because I'm sorry, Tampa Bay is gonna.
He'll throw it to Lazar, but yeah, I mean, I think I know that we need to get another star wide receiver. I don't think our wide receiver core is as bad as everybody says it is, and I've thought that the entire time. I think St. Brown is really good for us.
Mm-hmm.
He throws the ball to him a lot. And then I think Aaron Jones, again, I've been saying this for as long as I've been doing the Canteen podcast. I think they're turning him into a wide receiver as we talk right now.
oh, I don't.
Every game, I feel like they throw more and more passes to Aaron Jones. And then we got two other running backs. So we don't need three running backs. So I think that's obvious. He could catch the ball. So why not?
So what you're trying to say is do the reverse Ty Montgomery instead of go from wide receiver to running back, make him go from running back to wide receiver?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then if we get Darnell Savage out there. He can catch any interception and throw him on the wide receiver core. He'll get us a bunch of touchdowns.
Oh,
Now, what's also going to be in this game, MVS, can you actually catch a fucking pass for once? Catch a fucking pass for once. Come on now. He's had so many opportunities to
Isn't
score.
he going to be let go at the end of the year anyway?
God, if he's not, he better be.
Oh, man. MBS screwed over my fantasy team, but that's beside the point. So then the second game is the Bills and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 3. The Bills won unanimously in our Twitter feed. A lot of people smashing tables and voting on our poll for the Bills. And another thing to note is that Patrick Mahomes will be active. He is out of the concussion protocol, but he is still dealing with a compressed nerve and a foot injury.
And daddy time's getting to him.
Yes, that too.
He's getting scared that his wife's, his fiance, annoying fiance, if I want to say.
The female version of Lamar, or the female version of LeVar Ball.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that she's going to have a baby soon, so just got to keep that in mind too.
I guess it also depends on where this pinched nerve is in the neck. If actual throwing side of the neck, maybe he'll have some trouble. But if it's like, because he's right-handed, he throws the ball right-handed. If it's in the left side of the neck, yeah, it's still going to be tough to turn and whatnot. I think throwing the ball is going to be an issue for him because, you need to be able to move and see the field with your neck freely. If you can barely do this, it's going to be a rough day for him, I feel like. But it's not going to change my mind on choosing the Kansas City Chiefs because I'm sorry, Brian. I know you're not the biggest Mahomes fan, you're not a Chiefs fan whatsoever, but Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Le'Veon Bell are going to be your top 3 guys going into this game. And sorry, Bills fan, and it's hard for me to say this as a Bills fan. I had to go with the Kansas City Chiefs over my Bills, and this is going to be the first time in a while that I'm going to say that.
I picked the Chiefs because I just want a Packers-Chiefs Super Bowl. So.
You want the State Farm Bowl. You want to know if it's going to be the Rodgers Raider or the Patrick Price.
Yes.
That should have been last year's Super Bowl. It would have been great. 100 years of the NFL. That was the first ever Super Bowl. It should have been the Super Bowl last year, but don't change my mind.
Oh, man.
No, we had to watch the 49ers play out of their minds because they aren't that good of a team. And
No,
I don't want to hear it again. I can't stand that franchise. It can go burn
I'm sorry.
in the graveyard.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this before I make my pick. Fuck the Patrick Price. Fuck the Rodgers rate. It's always going to be discount double check to me. There.
Give You're right.
DJ Raji. No.
The Rodgers rate all day, every day.
Sorry,
Oh, man.
Mahomes, but it's been discount double check way before it's been the Patrick rate.
Yeah. We'll get to our Super Bowl picks in a few weeks here. But no, I'm going to go with... you know what? I want to be different here. I want to stand out. I'm going with the Bills in this. I just don't know. I mean, I got a C- in anatomy. But if I've learned anything from the Robbie Wickens crash, if I've learned anything from anatomy, the higher up you go in that neck, the question is not how much is it going to impact them. The question is going to be how high is that compressed nerve? Because if it's pretty high up, he's going to be in a lot of pain entering Sunday, as if the foot's not going to be enough. Not to mention, Jason, we talked about this on our first Saturday edition. They know what his injury is. The Bills do, and they're going to do everything they can to lay a hit on him. Like,
you know what, Brian? You better be right.
I'm telling you. Here's the thing. It's the playoffs. No one gives a crap about a cheap shot anymore. It's a Super Bowl on the line. And I assure you, Bills Mafia will probably, again, I think they'll be falling through tables, number one.
Yep.
The tables will be breaking.
They'll fall through the tables for them.
But
for it to happen.
But yeah, I think there's two key areas that Mahomes is going to take hits in, and obviously the foot is one of them. They're going to aim for his foot. They're going to aim for his neck. I don't care who you are.
I would hope.
And then Bills Mafia will donate like an insane amount to 15 the Mahomies. Just like they did with Lamar Jackson and his baskets or backpacks for children, whatever it was. I forget.
Also, Brian, I hope you're going to be the reverse of a curse, because the last few times that you've chose your picks, you went against Buffalo, for the Indy game, for the Baltimore game. You better be the help.
I didn't go against Buffalo. I didn't go against Buffalo in that. I said Buffalo would win, and then I said, but Indy is going to give them a challenge.
I'm sorry. Buffalo is Buffalo for a reason. All right? You're below everybody. So the Sabres are an example of that. The Bills have been an example for that. Yeah. I mean, except for your college teams. They seem to be like out of the world, coming out of nowhere and becoming like some crazy basketball school for some reason. So,
oh man, yeah,
they have the worst stadium in college sports when it comes to D1 schools. Yeah. But that's it.
Oh man, well,
yeah, UB is pretty good.
I mean, they occasionally build a decent basketball program, but their football program was that running back had 8 touchdowns in a game.
They also have a track around their football field, so...
Hey, I can respect that.
Looks like a high school stadium.
So maybe he was able to run around the track and, get himself mentally prepared for that game.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Again, I want to iterate. I don't wish for Mahomes to get hit. I just want to iterate that for the listeners who may have thought what I said was I want him to get hit. I'm saying, though, this is the playoffs. I don't think anybody cares if you're hurting there. They're going to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl or go to a Super Bowl.
I don't care. Give the Buffalo Bills as much shit as you want to. That defense has been playing pretty good the last few games, and look what they did with Lamar Jackson.
But you lost in every category to the Colts except the score.
So
whatever. We don't talk about that.
So I've not been against Buffalo. I'm just saying it's the facts here, all right?
I know.
I said a few weeks ago on the Canteen podcast that Buffalo was headed somewhere good. There's some success coming. I just don't think it's the year for the Bills. I think it's probably either next year or the year after. That's the year they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to pick them to win next year. I think Aaron Rodgers has got another year of going for the Super Bowl. I think 2 years from now, it's going to be the Packers falling off the cliff because we're going to have to start paying everybody.
Yeah.
So
Well, see, I'd said if they lost first round, and I think I said this last week, had they lost first round, maybe Terry Pegula would be sitting there, man, is McDermott our guy? Because we're 0-3 in the playoffs with them. Then I sat there and said, second round, maybe he's our guy. Now I think he's the guy for the job.
And I was wrong. I just said Packers. I meant Chiefs. I don't know why I said Packers.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I still think the Packers next 2 years, but
see, Belichick could make it work because he could get washed-up players to play for him and find relevancy. I don't think there's going to be that appeal in Kansas City. It's going to be much like Seattle, how they're doing now. They're going to be good. The only difference is that they're in the AFC and not the NFC, where it's loaded.
And it's Kansas City. It's like, why would you want to go to Kansas City of all cities if you're going to want to go somewhere?
Yeah. But we will see what happens. Hopefully, we might have a State Farm Super Bowl in a few weeks' time. So next week, Jason and I, who knows, maybe Zach will be back next week. We never know. So we're going to be making our picks for the awards next week, coming up here on SCN. Then the week after, we'll be doing our Super Bowl special. We'll have the official announcement probably tomorrow or Tuesday. But we are going to be doing our normal show at 9 a.m. And then stay up late with us because we'll be here at 10:30, whenever the game clock hits 0. And we'll be watching the awards ceremony and live streaming with you guys.
And no promises for not being a little intoxicated, if anything.
Oh, I thought that was going to be the entertainment. I thought we were going to get together. I thought the plan was we were going to get into the same room. I was going to buy a table. And if the Bills do get there and win, I was going to throw you through the table. Or maybe you were going to throw me through the table. Because I'm not the Bills fan here.
I'll power slam you through a table. I'll just say that, like a power bomb. I don't know, power bomb, power slam, something.
There'll be champagne thrown everywhere.
Yeah.
we're gonna light a fire to see you burn. No, I was kidding.
Wow.
Well,
getting cremated live on YouTube.
Oh
boy, that's all we got for this week. Zach, thank you again for joining us. Hopefully you'll be back again with us real soon here. And then, thank you guys again for listening. Hope you guys subscribe to us on those audio platforms. And hey, if you checked us out on YouTube, hopefully liked what you saw. And we hope to see you next week here on SCN Sports Talk. Until then, guys, goodbye, everyone.